Hi everyone, it's another episode of Living Beyond Limitations with Daniela Ibikiri. Today, I want to still talk about acceptance, but the social aspect of acceptance. As social beings created for connections and interpersonal relationships, we tend to seek approval and validation from others. Like we want to be accepted by others, be it our family, friends, people at our workplace, religious places, and every other place we go to. Yeah, so a lot of people want to look and act a certain way just to be accepted by others. And in a society like ours, where people have to look a certain way to be accepted, it's difficult for persons living with disability because they are different and the society places a label on them and they think they don't fit in because they're not accepted by the society. So for me, back then, I used to seek approval and validation from others, like, or I want them to accept me. And as a fine girl, yeah, I used to get compliments a lot. So when I do, I feel happy and liked by people. When I don't, I feel sad and I feel people don't like me. And me too. I interact with people, I accept them based on their physical looks. Yes, I'm just being honest here. So becoming a visually impaired person was difficult for me. Like, oh my God, I'm now different and I know how the society treats people with disability. And so I was worried, will people accept me? Will I still get compliments from my friends and every other person? And if I want to become someone's friend, I wouldn't even know what they look like because I care a lot about people's look. So I was so ashamed to tell anybody. Yeah, apart from my immediate family, colleagues, and few church members, I got to know about it. It took me like a few months to just tell my very closest friend then, and over a year to tell other close friends that I will talk on the phone and I won't tell them my situation until I just got to tell them. Yeah, because I was afraid of rejection. Yeah, and to every other person, old friends, relatives, and the whole world, I just came out to tell every person that I'm a visually impaired person and I have been living like this for the past 6 years and counting. Just last year, November. Yeah. So back then, I wouldn't want to go out. Yeah. I would just tell my husband, go out alone. I was so ashamed. I didn't want anybody to interact with me differently. If they get to find out I'm a visually impaired person, I was so scared of rejection. Yeah. But when I came to terms with my reality, like, okay, this is my reality and that's growth. Yeah. So I started going out. But even if I go out, I'll still, comport myself because a lot of people they know, apart from me coming out now, that I am a visually impaired person. Yes. So because I have um, some level of visual acuity. Like it's very low though. I can work alone in familiar places and places I'm not familiar with. I just follow people's lead. I don't use the white cane. I don't need people to hold my hands like that. I don't look like a visually impaired person. Like my eyes, there is nothing showing that I can see very well. Like I look like every other person, but deep in me, I just know I'm different because every other person can see very well and I can see like, so I'll just comport myself, like make them know, find out. I would go out, talk to people and they wouldn't realize. I go to the hospital, doctors wouldn't know until I tell them. I go see psychologists and when I start explaining why I'm here, like, visual, oh, really? Like really, really? Yes. And people come to my house, mm, and they see me taking care of my kids, cooking and doing stuff. They won't know except they come like regularly and they get close to me and they will get to find out. And a lot of people have met me a couple of times and they're finding it difficult to believe now I'm coming out to say this. Visually impaired person. Back there, like I didn't want anybody to know. I could just maintain, like, yeah. And because I realized that people also don't know how to interact with people with impairment. So I've experienced that in my church. Yeah. So I recently joined another unit just to continue a service because my previous unit requires a whole lot of mobility, and since I couldn't function very well there, I joined another unit, because this one is more of speaking and I know I have a calling there. So I went there because most of them they didn't know me before. So they got to find out I'm a visually impaired person, and some of them wouldn't want to interact with me, and I felt hurt by that. Like I felt rejected. Like, oh my god, if they didn't know me before this thing happened, they wouldn't be doing this. Like they would interact with me. But then I just know like some persons don't know how to interact. Not that it's intentional, but that's how we find ourselves here. And some other person just pity, like, instead of you to get to know the person for who the person is, you just feel sorry for the person and wouldn't want to know the person. That hurts too. But now, as I'm growing, I've come to know who I am. That's my identity, and I'm building my confidence. I've come to know that I don't need people's approval and validation. As long as I accept myself the way I am and God accepts me just as I am, that's all that matters. And I also accept people for who they are, even if I can see them, like I just see their body structure. Yeah, I've come to that place where I don't care, yes, about people's look again. That's why I say God is changing my attitude with this process. Yes, is doing a lot of changes in me. Yeah, so I've come to accept, like with my full chest, like I don't need to comport myself again. Yeah, I'll just tell you, I'll do my eyes like, I can't see you. I'm letting everybody know, like I'm out here letting the whole world know that I am a visually impaired person because I don't care about people's acceptance again. If they accept me and want to interact with me, that's fine. If they don't, that's also fine. As long as I accept myself the way I am. Yes, I'm at that place right now where social acceptance doesn't mean doesn't mean anything to me. Yeah, I know it's important. Yeah, as emotional beings, for our emotional wellness, like we'll be happy when people accept us and all that. But I would say self acceptance is more important. So, to anyone living with a disability or chronic illness, or you just feel different, I want to say being different is okay. Our differences make us beautiful. There's beauty in diversity. And know that you don't need people's approval and validation. As long as you accept yourself just the way you are and God accepts you just the way you are, that's all that matters. So love yourself and accept yourself just the way you are. I know it's difficult going out there and knowing you're different and people wouldn't want to accept you because you're different, but take a day at a time and accept yourself and worry less about other people's acceptance. If they do accept you, that's fine. For those that wouldn't accept you, that's fine also. Yeah, just love yourself and accept yourself. Yeah. And to the society, I want to say people with disability are just like you. They are human beings and they are emotional beings. So why not see beyond their disability and accept them for who they are? You know, the Bible says, accept one another just as Christ has accepted you. So if Christ has accepted you just the way you are, why wouldn't you accept the other person for who they are? Rejection hurts. Yeah, so let's do better and stop the stigmatization because we all are God's creation. Yep. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Until next time, you've been watching Living Beyond Limitations with Daniela.